Only needs a little bit. Not.
Yes.
Then you swing or something because you sense the ski right there, right? But if you're here, if you make another move, it's like boom, boom. So one of the things here is find your, check the body. You're going to feel the weight of your body. But start to kind of feel kind of more of a finer vibe. You see what I mean? Finer vibe. In other words, body has weight, but your body is also key. Okay, so for coming in this particular boom, 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 right? Or if we go this way, then it's simple. You've got the opening there, boom, boom, boom. And when you sort of can do that, then you see angles that you don't see when you're practicing with weight out there. So one of the things is, so just check the feeling in the body. Okay, initially, we're out here, we're holding a stick, we're moving a stick, but there's a finer feeling through here because when we get into weight, we get real dense. When you get then all of a sudden, all we do is see things out there that are kind of dense. Okay, if you're coming in this direction, it's like just a little bit. See, if I'm reacting, I'm already in a very dense state. Over here, it's like boom, boom, boom. So within that, just relax a bit. You kind of open. You still have feet. You still have a back. But your body's kind of animated by a breath, not just in, out, So as we kind of start to do that. And so if you are coming in, just like a little motion, on the other side, right here. You see, you see solutions and angles for blending that a lot of times differ. The other thing right there, if you start the movement too fast, you get caught up in weight. You don't always sleep. But all I need is just a little bit right here. Yeah. Or right here. We could go. So shifting into kind of more of a finer level. If you can get the body to feel that it's part of key, your thought process also changes. Instead of looking for weight out there, you look for other solutions, right? There's that feeling right there where just with any motion, see, I'm going to go like that, but there's that motion. See what I mean? In other words, that final level of you, you're still doing a striking motion, but boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's it. See, something's starting right there, right? You're starting to shift to, all right. Yeah, because you can do that, and you'll get stronger that way. But there's a point where you can be stronger. Things are settled these days with missiles and assault weapons. So we can hold on to samurai this, samurai that. But in the be all and the end all, we want to be smart enough to avoid a confrontation with missiles, bombs, things like that. It's like, yeah, okay. I know you want to use a nuclear coach, Mr. Trump, but maybe you should cool it. Okay. So just in terms of movements, just out here. See, I could be out here just in a mental exercise. So you're kind of feeling the body, but you're feeling a finer level of it. Okay. And when I kind of do that, my mind starts to calm down. If everything is out there, I'm reactive. Now, broadly speaking, we're moving kind of in a spiral, but or the spiral goes this way. Yeah. And that's the point where if you're coming in, so there's contact here. If I miss, I can, I'm flexible. We're all going to make mistakes. Just how quick we can recover. So if we can start to feel the body on a different level, like for example here, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to look for something to push on. You get some exercise. It's like there's a pulse, a beat, right? See, we all come out of key, right? Therefore, key is a background to everything. And so as we start to sense the movement of key, that is this kind of a misogi. When I'm in a dense body thinking stupid thoughts, I'm going to do things I regret. I'm going to break things I shouldn't break. So when we're just that simple motion, right? See, if you're coming in this direction, here, this is the heavy, dense world, but that motion right here. In the world of key, your movement and my movement come together, form a kind of a harmony beat. And when I put my weight out there to move you, if you're coming in this direction, right? So start to relax and open. Because all in that, I'm just going to see stupid, solutions, right? So we're just learning to find a level of us to be very mental. So just say right now, we're just working, find a level of us, find a level of the body. And, if the body comes out of key, then the environment also comes out of key. There's a possible, a harmony possible. And so when we're just moving, we're a part of that beat. Hello. Okay. So more than anything else, if you're coming in this direction, then boom, 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 boom. Those beats are kind of like your, Osensei talked about coming, in a lot of ways. I mean, we're kind of dense here. Oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared, but something says, oh, move now. Boom. Yeah. So those beats of energy, they start to organize in ways that, comic book, spider sense. If you're going to come in this direction, okay. Boom, boom. There are beats that you start to pick up if you start to get into a finer place with yourself. Hi, Paul. Okay. We're just, we started out a little free form, but let's do a bow. Okay. Okay. Feel your body. We're going to do some moves, but you need a body to do that. Okay. And we're saying that most of the movements out there can be very dense. Okay, we kind of feel the body as dense, but we're going to try to feel the body at finer levels. Because if I start to feel the body at finer levels, my mind shifts into, and right here, for example, I'm so dense, I'm going to walk into something that I should have seen coming, but find a level of me. Okay. So, if we say mind, we tend to get all too. So I'm just going to say the body is feeling itself at a finer level. Why? Because everything comes out of key, therefore my body comes out of key. Okay? So I'm starting to feel, for example, like a beat. I love basketball because, the whole thing is right, up and down. If I start to get that up and down beat, I start to feel the body as a finer center, right? I'm just going to do a bunch of stuff. So do move, because if you just listen to the words, you're looking out there. So wherever you're going on, wherever you're going, there's this beat of energy. Okay, if somebody's coming in this direction, it's like, find a level of me, for example, doesn't just charge into something, or conversely react and polarize. So, when I'm dense and heavy, see, I overreact. Here's right here. Enough. I'll feel this out. Ask for the nuclear codes. You see what I mean? That area right there. So just from where you are, just begin to feel. Yeah, just begin to feel. Now, for example, if your body comes out of key, what is your mind? Your mind also comes out of key, but it's more universal than just like my brain and my stupid thoughts. Okay. I don't know about your thoughts, but a lot of my thoughts are really stupid. Okay. And as I get a finer level of body, there's beats in the body. There's an up down beat. Okay. If you're a basketball coach, you wouldn't want to see a player that's like this, because they're very limited. Okay. But you want to see a player like, okay, I don't really want to play. It's like, there's a beat going through your body, and up down. Right? Oh, a little too upper or a little too frozen. There's a balance at whatever level of that up down happening. Okay, I'm going to get that balance in my own system. I start to pick up that there's also a larger beat out there. Sometimes the beat here and the beat out there is more of a transverse beat. So you get that. There is trying to talk to you this way. But if out there is trying to talk to me, but so it's a system, situational out there, my own center, mind beat, body beat. Somewhere there's me as a center. Your body comes out of key, then mind comes out of key. I find balance between the two of them. And the balance between the two of them. It's like dribbling a basketball. You dribble it off your feet, you do a crazy bunch of stuff, but after a while you kind of beat, 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 right, left. Ah. Ah. Okay. And then as we establish this up-down beat, a lot of times we start to catch there's an in, out, or a front, back. Okay, so if he's coming in, he's like, so I'm just going in and out, or up and down. Okay, I'm not relating to what's going on out there, but it's okay. So, right about here, they're going to come in there. Okay, so I don't overreact. See, if you're going to come in, I can just, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. Or conversely, and so all of a sudden the situation is putting, I'm right about here. Boom, boom. We see angles and situations when we're in that finer level of ourselves that may lead to better behavior, better decision making. You see? So what I kind of want you to do is just say that we're working right now up down beat. So you got your feet, slippers. Yeah, Lauren gave me a couple of them. They're so nice. I don't want to wear them outside, but they're really comfortable. Okay. And conversely, there's going to be movement out and in, front, back. Boom. You need them both. If I just fixate here, I don't pay attention to what's going on around me. But conversely, if I don't have, because I'm too dense or I'm kind of out of it, too drifty. So starting with a movement here, and there will also be a movement here. Now that movement there oftentimes can be a circle spiral. If I start go a circle spiral, I get caught out there, I get very confused. But so I'll just say that it's a out and an in initially. As I develop a little bit more of the up down in my system, this starts to spiral or circle. Otherwise, I'm learning all this out there and I'm really confused. And when I'm confused, I'm too dense and too stupid to adapt. Okay. So starting a little bit of work here. See, a lot of, the blending motion we do with a partner has to kind of do with the out and the in. Okay. But your capacity to do that has a lot to do with your up down. All right. Now, you sometimes can't go like this, I'm sure, I always like bouncing a basketball because, there's an area where there's a primal beat to it or music or whatever. But just when you're just still, that beat's going on. Here, breathing. Now, breathing is tricky because, what I try to do, I try to verticalize the breath. Instead of, make sure, you're breathing, your chest goes out, breathing to your belly, goes out. Most people stay kind of waist up with their breathing, but if you can start to breathe to your knees, maybe you start out mid-thigh, that's okay. Breathe to your ankles. And of course, what's coming this way is going that way. So what I'm doing is I'm verticalizing my breathing. Most people breathe this way. So, you can't be hopping around sometimes, but you can breathe. All of a sudden, my thoughts calm down. My body feels lighter, okay? Now, not floaty light. Still got the ground, breathe all the way to your feet. The breath goes from your feet. Okay. Now you can fall asleep just charting your breath. So this is really your breath and the movement of ki in your own system are very close. Right about here, for example, then we can, okay. If you're coming in this direction. I don't polarize. Okay. It's you versus me. Or conversely, I don't space. And I'm not going to try to avoid. So that finer level of me, you now represent the out, in, front, back. And so I'm starting by finding here to sync up with the movement. In, out, also becomes front, back, becomes right, left. Okay, so what I'd like us to do here, just right here, just a simple motion. Okay, now, the technique starts with the attack. Now, the technique starts with you establishing a kind of rhythm or harmony in your own system right here. Okay, so if he's coming in this direction. Okay, fine. simple. You know, if you're about to cross the street and there's a car that doesn't see you, you know, don't walk in front of the car. Simple, but if I'm kind of like this, I don't see the car. You see, or I had a bad experience. I'm afraid to cross the street. That's an over. You say I'm getting too dense or too stupid. Okay, so just that motion off the line. Let's start with Steve up first. Okay, all right. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Keep going. Yeah, don't overreact. You got the balance. Okay, and it's shift here. So why don't you be the attacker for? That's good. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Just all good. Okay. David receives the attack. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Let's look at okay, one thing we could do. You don't want to walk around this way. Yeah, this is somebody, you know. But conversely, you don't want to walk around totally out of it or too afraid. All right. So we can go this way. This is coming in this way. Boom. Now, what I want you to look at is don't use this as a crutch. Yeah, for example. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. In other words, you know, this is not going to do me any body. The body moves first, but not. Yeah, I jumped the gun. I'm externalizing everything. Okay. Find a level you seize angles and things that the denser, heavier one doesn't. We're not saying float off, but you know, I'm dense and heavy. I'm so angry I don't see it coming. Or conversely, I'm too tired, disillusioned. I don't see it coming. Those are two extremes. We're perpetually somewhere in the middle. All right. Okay. You see things, solutions that you wouldn't see otherwise. You know. In fact, I may have to go back a little bit. Boom, boom. Now you can turn that into, okay? You know, I'm on the wrong side. It's all right. Boom. You see things that are goals. Doesn't mean you have to go, I got you. It's more like, you know, a lot of times I get in my own way when I'm too dense and too stupid. I think we all spend a lot of time, you know, too dense, too heavy. Mind just going crazy and unproductive patterns, or just shuts off because we're going, this is too much. Okay. So just beginning to feel, just take a second or two. There's always that up down beat going on. Our bodies come out of key. Everything in the universe came out of key, so there's a simpatico possible. But we're going to start with our own system. Okay? And everybody makes mistakes, right? There's a video called The Rising, Japanese street ball, where kids in Japan, two kids in Japan, Stephen Curry is a superhero, right? So they do improvisational stuff based on the stuff they see him do. And so he goes to Japan to teach, and he meets a couple of these people, and they're better than he is at some of the stuff because they come off of crazy things that he hasn't. So he tries them, and and it's it's his documentary, but he's nothing. I should be perfect at that. No, he doesn't do some of the stuff, but he evolved off of the stuff they saw him do in games, right? So he's not perfect. And then he starts to get it after about the third try. Oh, yeah, okay. You're not perfect. But what it is a little bit is that they took something there and took in their own system and, okay, I'm doing this. Like there's a finer level. There's a finer level and a finer level and a finer level. And bounces it is off and then it goes, and the tree tries it, can't do it. And then he picks it up on the third try. Okay, yeah. Because we're all learning. But if I'm too attached to being heavy, I'm either reactive out there or that's too overwhelming. I just go into shutdown. Those are two extremes you want to avoid. Okay? You see things that oftentimes other people miss. Oh, other solutions, other angles. So what I want you to be able to do, it all starts with anytime you start to feel your breathing and you start to verticalize it, you start to kind of establish yourself as an up-down center, which places you a little bit more in the key realm. Your body's key. My body is my body. That's fine. Your body's key. Key has a beat, up, down. The whole universe comes out of key, all right? No, what was that? Unprepared. I don't want to be paranoid. But anytime we can start to establish that center beat in our own system, what I'm doing is I'm just verticalizing my breathing. We start high. By his third try, Stephen Curry was doing what they were doing, but he never tried it. And then we take the hand away. That's going on at any time. And so sometimes, before a situation comes at us, we polarize, get too dense with it. By establishing the harmony in your own system, he represents kind of the world. You start to establish a simpatico with it. Okay? I don't want to be afraid of it or polarize against it or be overwhelmed by it. But it all starts here. Okay? So we got one group of three, one group of two. We're just doing the off the line motion off of a partner coming with a thrust. Now, you can go the other side if you want. It opens up other angles. Now, if you go strictly, it's a form, but you can't walk around your office, although these days everybody's telecommuting, so that's a bad analogy. Yeah, that's okay. But from this angle, see, from here, all I see is my own fear being reflected on me, or my own anger driving me towards something maybe I'll regret. And here I see solutions. This person, I'm making up a person, it's very difficult to talk to. But an angle here where I may be able to reach them. Final level of me creates more harmony. Okay, so let's get a group of three, group of two, let's go. Right there, calm down, good. Just calm down, okay. Now what happens a little bit right there? Because I'm oh, it was kind of a tensing right there. When the body gets denser, a lot of my navigation intelligence system freezes. So I want to almost practice getting looser, freer, finer with my body sense. So my mind doesn't go into paralysis reaction. So take a couple of seconds and breathe and verticalize it. Okay. Now you're back in your game flow. Now that was a reaction. Settle in a little bit. Okay, better. But now do that side again. Pause for a second, David. Breathe, verticalize. At some point, David, go. Yeah, see, that's a finer level of you. I think you're much more satisfied with what you're doing. You see what I mean? That whole thing right there is like it changes at the speed of thought. All I got to do is think of thought, and the body densifies, and my mind, my guidance system, whatever it is, starts to kind of go very limited. Okay? Okay? So work a little bit on the vertical at all times. And then what's the situation? He represents the situation. Yeah, that's better. That's a finer level of you. Yeah, that's better. And timing starts to be better. Now that one, you see that one right there? That's Andrew Wiggins right now. If you follow the Warriors, he can't make a shot. You know, he doesn't know when to take over a game or when to just.
He made the most quiet 90-point game ever.
Yeah, yeah. So that's right. Yeah, yeah. So right there, you know. Also, you know, Oubre started out horrible. Right now, I get rid of Wiggins and sign Oubre, but I'm not the thought, you know, but you got a sample size. You don't know. So right there, easy. Yes, that's better. Okay. Now right there, you're letting the game dictate. Okay. You want the game to slow down. So whatever you do, now if you're right there, for example, yeah, you're getting too dense. That's better. That was finer. You lost your balance a little bit, but that's better. That's a mistake as a coach. I say, you know, I like your idea there. execution will come. There's a feel to that finer level of you. That's good. Anybody can have a 40-point game. The question is, what are you going to do the next game? Just work on you, not the movement. And let the movement come out of you. And what you do, that was nice. You saw that happening way before. That's where you go coast to coast after the turnover. Okay, you see the opportunity, you seize it, you act. Soft eyes, soft eyes. Together, the movement gets finer, doesn't it? Yeah, it has a feel to it.
You get the micro.
Yeah. No, if you get a little too that way, it's sort of like, okay, this is why you, yeah, this is why you mess up. And all of a sudden, all I'm doing is a coach is telling you how you make mistakes. What are you going to do?
Mistakes.
Yeah. In other words, it's like, yeah, you know, this is something we need to watch, but you did this well, you did that well. So it's really two things, right? This is what I like about what you're doing now. And this is what sucks. If I just stay with what sucks, what are you going to do? You're going to suck some more. Yeah. So, you know, it's delicate. We're our inner coach. That's our inner coach telling us. Okay. Now let's look at this one. Okay. Let's get a little bit closer here. So once you get over here, we'll orchestrate this a little better. Okay. Okay, good. Now I'm out here. See, I create my own reality. I dodge that, go out there, and then he gets more aggressive and a lot of trouble here. Finer level. Sees that coming. If the whole universe is key, then we're key. We come out of the universe. All right. So since I said we're all really one family, why? Now we have different parents and different, you know, lineages and everything. But on the other hand, we all come out of the universe. We all come out of key. Everything came out of key. I mean, if you take the Aikido thing, okay? And finer versions of key are in motion around us. So since they call that coming. You know, we also have movement inside us, which as we start to get, we can ascend or get to a finer state where we start to kind of play to the kami. They play to us, and all of a sudden, we sort of become kami. That's called misogi. That's what Aikido is supposed to do. If we're all kami, guess what? World will be a lot better. Okay? So what I want us to do, we're going right. I get the first part, but then start to feel your own breathing. The universe is breathing too. I'm too like this is breathing, but you know, I'm so much in my own weight, my own limited thinking. I can't see the forest for the trees. As my system starts to loosen up, get finer, I start to sync up. He represents the situation for the universe. If everything is key, I'm in a very stupid zone. Heavy, caught, trapped, or conversely just totally, I can't handle it. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. So contact. Now he gets heavier. To get lighter, not heavier. I have to get finer. You're around stupid people. That's why you become stupid too, reacting to them. Okay. We work on ourselves, and what happens then is the people may all of a sudden you're not reinforcing stupid out there. you're going to shift them. Maybe it may take a while. Okay. May not happen overnight, but you're not getting caught up in that heaviness and stupidity. That's pretty major. So here, I'm moving right. Feel sense. Come on in.
Hey.
Huh? Come on, push. Oh, yeah. He needs attention. My cat needs her litter box changed. Thank you. Okay, you get the game? We're just going to go careful with too fast with the hands. I'm in a stupid office situation, and everybody there is better at being stupid than I am. So guess what? I'm gonna get better at being stupid. Okay. Oh, that's finer of you. Doesn't rush up there. Just keep the same pairing. You're just going to add the contact. Could be the same thing. Somebody grabs your wrist. We're observing the social distancing with our training, so we're not going to. But it's probably going to come sooner than we think. Okay. So let's keep the same pairing. Okay. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Steve, you're too quick with the hands. Okay. A little too quick. Okay. No, he's not stupid. But let's just play that you're in a real. I mean, my brother-in-law, I mean, I don't know what your politics are, but it's like everybody else in his family except for one brother. Still is a Make America Great person. And he was telling me he just called one of his brothers to wish him a happy birthday, and they got into a political argument. Okay. And the point is, it's not about politics, but certain people you're not going to change. I found out one of my cousins was married to this guy who used to be my dentist, and my uncle was dying, so I went in there, and Trump was doing a speech. I never watched him. Guess what? That was what was on. I'm trying to spend some time with my uncle because he's going to pass, and my former dentist is going on and on about Trump and how people don't understand him and everything. And so finally, I kind of looked around and said, I think the Giants are playing. And we changed the channel. You're not going to change certain people. I mean, and really, it's not my responsibility what somebody thinks or what their politics are, although it can be irritating, especially when it's family, right? So, the Giants are playing. Oh, okay, let's watch the Giants. Giants suck, but on the other hand, I'd rather watch a baseball game than watch Trump. That's just my own stuff, but I'm not going to engage somebody who is that tight and heavy around something. All right, so we're coming in this direction. See how, if I'm too quick out here, too quick, I'm in reaction. Now, if I'm spaced out, so just that finer level of you. Oh, okay, now if he's heavier, I have to get lighter. Boy, you really want to do Make America Great Again to a super extreme? Well, let's watch the Giants. Yeah, okay. I mean, political statement, no. It's just that, I don't want to get involved in having a political discussion with you when, it wouldn't change the way you think I'm going to exhaust a lot of my vital energy in a useless exercise because you've already made your mind up. All right. Now you may change how you're thinking, and we'll have a conversation. Let's watch the giants. Okay. Huh? So one of the things here. What for the hand to quit? Okay. Yeah, I think it's heavier. You got to get lighter. I didn't have a solution, but hey, the giants are playing. I don't want to have a political discussion about something that is that polarizing right now. My uncle's dying. I just want to have a moment with him. I'm not supposed to get involved in listening to defend our president or president at that time. I mean, it's like point blank. And so, that area right there, be easy. You have this, therefore, when it's time to duck. Come on, let's watch the Giants. They're awful, but let's watch them anyway. Okay. You see what I mean? And then, you don't create a family feud. And he was happy to watch the game. It's very interesting. He wasn't like, no, we have to watch our president. I said, oh yeah, let's watch the game. But if you just, you're passive and let that speech go on and on and on, you're getting dragged down. You're reacting. Let's watch the Giants. Keep it light. When somebody's too heavy, you don't want to try to argue with them. Yeah, if you had the nuclear codes, you want to be out here or here. It would be very easy. Okay, all right? Oh, okay. What I want you to do a little bit. You're learning things. That's a little different than. You're James Wiseman. I'm sure you're listening to Draymond. There's got to come into your own system. Maybe, yeah, but a little bit at a time. Don't try the big moves right now. Yeah. Sometimes less is more. Okay, James. We know you can hit threes. We know you can take people off the dribble. We know you can do all those things. On a lesser team, you'd probably be scoring 18 to 20 points a game and be leading the rookie of the year. But you're with this organization. So right now, you're going to defend the hoop. You're going to rebound a little better. You're going to situationally defend better. You're going to catch lobs. And we're trying to get you to where, yeah, there's times for you to take the ball and go. We want to increase that as your understanding of our team game goes. Go. Yeah. See, what's interesting for you is that, if you're apathetic, all right, that happens. There's too much information. You've made too many, and apathy usually leads to negative thoughts. Okay, so you want to be very careful. I mean, I don't know whether I would have kept him out of that game, but I do know that after that game, he's probably the second best shooter on the team.
He wants to learn.
Yeah, he's got a lot to learn, right? And we want him to learn it and not to push him. Come on, everybody says you're total crap. We should have drafted LaMelo. He didn't know that. And on the other hand, hey, this is long term. Less is more. Less is more. That's a finer level of you seeing things, right? He's one of those make America great people. I'm going to have an argument with him. No, I'm going to stay loose and easy. I'm not going to change the way they think right now.
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
And David's political beliefs are David's. I'm using something that is pretty easy to relate to for most people. But if you're MAGA, I didn't even know what that was till I read it. How come this MA? Oh, it's Make America Great Again. That was midsummer before I figured out what MAGA was.
Lost to what happened to the city.
Yeah.
It's already great. It's great.
Or it was never great. There's a number of things that you could look at.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and that area, the final level of you starts to get the lesson that less is more in certain situations. That's hard because I could be apathetic or just be very mental about that, but you're vitally present and you keep your mouth shut. You're vitally present and you don't give something away that you shouldn't, right? Less is more in certain things. That's a very important. On the other hand, if he is coming in and you need to take action, you take it. James, that's a shot you should have taken. We want you to take that shot. Yeah. All right. Now you've got a certain number of stuff. Now we want to see you take the game over a little bit. That's more next year, but But on the other hand, it'd be nice if all of a sudden that was going to happen tonight. But like right about here, it's like boom, 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 boom. There's a series of beats. Okay, boom. I got to get the front back beat to get the up down beat. You start to read the room. It's not just you and him. It's key assembling and giving you a hint on how the situation can go. Right? Yeah. It's so you work on the easy, your own up down center. How things start to sync up for you. See, if this starts to happen, then what is out there starts to also align with this. If we're out there, it can't happen. Key, harmony with key. You two are two people. You both come out of key, but there's also the larger key that you both came out of. And Osensei was saying right here, there's a universe itself. That kind of there's all these tricky little turns and all these, he's heavy there, then I'll go down and then go back. How do I know how to do that? Because the energies are coaching me. Okay. I mean, what have you got? You got a right, left, and up and down, an infinite number of angles. You got a rotation here, a rotation there. You create curved spirals up and down. It's not, basketball is very similar. Simple. You got that. If it's a full court, you have that. Right? And if the court, is usually standardized, a certain number of feet. That's Gene Hackman and Hoosiers. Yeah, we're playing for the state. Measure the court, measure the hoop. Great psychological ploy. Don't let the moment get too big for you. On the other hand, show up. All right? Don't do too much, but also don't try to out there do too much. Okay? So keep going. Okay, now the other thing we're going to do a little bit. You've got some big beats, but there's a lot of action in the little stuff. Okay, you got the big beats, but there's a lot of action here. In other words, okay, can have a conversation. So I'm just going to open things up, and maybe, we shouldn't discuss politics, but we can talk about the Warriors or the 49ers or something, start to establish a simpatico, and then maybe, sports are good that way. Okay, so what I want you to do is, he's going to attack again. Without getting too busy, all of a sudden, there's see little things. Putting somebody at ease. Praising them at the right time. Yeah. You see that feeling a little bit? Finer version of you picks that up. Now, if you get too busy doing it, then it creates more of maybe what's out of balance out there. The better balance here, the better the things out there. Okay, start to show. Okay, so keep going. Yeah. You can add one thing right there. Okay. You've sort of got the area up, but there's an up and the down too. System. I'm just going with the flow of the game. I just think I need to do passive. Boom, boom. Boom. All right. I'm Stephen Curry. I'm going to pass the ball, but I'm not going to stop moving without the ball. All right. Boy, my teammates suck right now. What do I do? It's like, I'm still Stephen Curry. I go over here. I got to drag 2 or 3 defenders with me. And they may get better, they may not, but I can't stop being Stephen Curry. So go again. Okay. The up down in your own system is important. It's not everything. Okay, if you're coming this way, for example, no. How do you know that? Because that's how Ki moves. He moves in and out, moves up and down, and then right about here can turn in reverse. How Ki moves. So after a while, if you're going to think about anything, you're going to think about how Ki moves. It's not that complex. Okay, for example, here, I'm going to come over here. What do I do? Well, first of all, I'm going to make sure I'm in a better place. He's telling you, but right about there, we just kind of want to say, we wanted to do something to the up and down of things, boom, boom, boom. Because that's, that it's almost like what it is when Osensei was talking about kami, he was really talking about Ki. Ki, it's a little too, but this little kami and that little kami and that little kami and that little kami, right about here, boom, 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 boom. See, I'm having a dialogue with them. They're kind of saying, okay, look at all this possible here. See? Kind of in that dance, and he's saying, wow, what's going on right there? Well, my own system is syncing up enough that we can have a dialogue with what's out there, and they start to coach me. Most of the time you say, well, how do you know how to do that? I don't. I want to be coachable, but I also have to have my own center. Okay. When Osensei, says follow the kannagara. Kannagara tomachi haimase. Go with the flow of kami. All right. But the kami say just have a little dialogue here, and then things open up, and then things start to boom, 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 boom. Then it's a dance. He says, whoa, this is kind of fun. Much more fun than being adversarial and fighting. He's a part of the cosmic dance, so he learns how to find the up down in his own system and play to the dance. But I don't know how to dance. Yeah, we're all learning. Okay? So go again. Okay, just for you, it's like, yeah, the up and down. Yes, yes, good. See that? All of a sudden it's alive. It's just like, okay, now we're getting along. We have, okay, all right, okay. Good. Okay, just look at. Yeah, okay. Okay, now, in basketball terms, there's film room. Film room. You're watching film, studying. I thought what was interesting, before Durant left, somebody said, well, Kevin, what do you do in your spare time? He said, oh, I study. And then somebody said, well, who do you study? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. He listed a couple others. Watch this film. But his AAU coach told him, you know, we're gonna have you watch Larry Bird because you're not a center. Okay? You are a more athletic Larry Bird. So we're gonna study Bird because if you can't see it, you can't do it. So they studied film. Now, obviously, he took the lessons well. But you know what you see out there goes into your own system. See, Bird doesn't waste his time doing that. He's that. Conversely, he doesn't fall for that. He knows how to adapt. So go again. You are in the game flow. Yes, you're in the game flow. Now, right there, you ran into a wall. Okay, boom, boom. You ran into a wall here. Well, guess what? The wall has a code for you to get through a gateway. Okay, so you like to run into walls to see how you. Okay, all right. Now, don't lose the up down in your own system. Yeah. And the other thing I'd like you to do a little bit, a lot of times in games, you know, the up down is not a big up down. It really is less is more. What do I do? Time to put the ball on the floor. Okay, I can't right now, so I'm going to look away, and then all of a sudden you can tell me, I'm going to put it. It's timing. Yeah. Sometimes it's just one little thing. A look there, boom, opens that up. It's not like I got to do this, I got to do this. No, I got to win the game. No, you're putting way too much pressure on yourself. Boom, 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 boom. Warriors, as they are right now, is just like, okay, let's get us the last 2 minutes where Steph can win the game for us or not. That's it. And if they triple team him, then somebody else got to make a shot. It's that easy. All right. But if we don't get to the last 2 minutes of the game with that chance, we suck. It's very simple. How do we get there? Stops. Don't let the defense set up. Open court. We beat the, because he gets a double team every single time, crosses half court. He'd rather take him, he'd go to the hoop than shoot a three. Okay, that's simple math. What do we have to do? Get stops, get in the open court, get him the ball before the defense sets. And if it sets too quick, somebody's open for a layup. That's just the way it goes. You know, why isn't that happening? Too many people up here and out there. Less is more. Well, Steph has to be over there. I look towards that. 3 people. Pass it to Wiseman for a dunk. Okay. No, it looks like, you know, but being able to execute that at game speed. No, but you might see it on film. Oh, yeah, you know, you know, I've got an uncontested layup. Just gotta look towards Steph. Okay. Or I opened that up and somebody had to pick me up. So somebody else, see, it's a flow. And, but, you try what you see out there into your own motion. If you stop moving and start looking out there, it gets to where you understand everything. And when you try to do it, the game situation doesn't sync up for you. It's a very crazy thing. If you don't study it, you don't see it. But on the other hand, you don't want to be looking at it. You want to be a part of it. So boom, just doing that way, drawing attention, boom, boom, looking that way, finishing yourself, drain off. Little stuff, little stuff. That's why a lot of times, a lot of these new players, they don't know the little stuff, which is okay. That comes with a certain amount of immersion. But what I want you to do a little bit is just one less is more, but you are vitally in the action. You sort of suddenly get the feel for the little stuff. Yes, keep going. Explore it. If you run into a wall or a defender, you got choices. Okay? Keep going. Yeah, better. Looser, freer. Yeah. Now you're starting to back up. Stay in the action. Stay in the game flow. Good. Now you just discovered when you pass the ball, you might get the ball back. You see? There's just, the little things. Little. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into now the 30 movements again. Okay, now I brought a couple of, okay, there's two people here. I have a couple of certificates. They're prototypes, so I need to kind of print them up a little better, but I've been sitting on them for a while because I've been forgetting to bring them, so we're going to present them. Now, since I was talking about the universe, okay. When I've been watching this show called The Big Bang Theory. How many people have seen that over the years? Two people. Is that it? Okay, well, that's interesting. It was on for 12 years, so yeah. But, it's interesting that the theme song actually encapsulates a lot of what Osensei was talking about. The universe was in a hot, dense state. And 14 billion years ago, expansion started. Wait. The earth began to cool. Autotrophs began to drool. Neanderthals developed tools. We built the wall. We built the pyramids. Science, math, history. To unravel the mystery that began with the Big Bang. Okay? And it's interesting that a lot of times, you can basically, somebody creates a theme song for a show that's somewhat based on science. In the beginning, the universe was in a hot, dense state. Well, everything came out of a point that went kerpow, Big Bang. So yeah, things were probably really hot and dense. Okay, universe was in a hot, dense state. 14 billion years ago, a long time ago, been measured by expansion started. Wait, what is weight? Hot, dense, expansion started. Wait, that's what Osensei told Sadaharu O to do. They're so caught up in trying to hit the ball, you don't have a sense. Now, if I tell you to focus on having a center, you'll probably mess that up. So I'm just going to tell you to wait. Let that finer level of you form around the center. Okay. Hot, dense point, starting to expand. Wait. What does that wait mean? It means that beginning of the universe, there was an original consciousness that gathered whatever was there, non-being, chaos, put it in that point. So things were hot and dense there. And then it started to expand. Well, and we can get so caught up in that. But the song says expansion started, wait. Then the earth began to cool. Autotrophs, single cells that basically create their own food, but we evolved out of those. Neanderthals developed tools. We built the wall, we built the pyramids. If we don't wait at that point, we're basically Neanderthals with better tools. The weight is very important. Expansion started with weight. And then science, math, history to unravel the mystery that started with the Big Bang. Why wait? Because you just get caught up in hot expansion, cooling, and everything like that. You don't realize that part of that original consciousness, we were there. That original consciousness, was an original state within the key. Everything comes out of key. And the key starts to, okay? And along the way, we develop better tools, we're better Neanderthals. But science, math, and history, we develop past the tools, which means we develop ourselves. We don't just form better tools. Travel the mystery. See, weight has to do with the mystery. What was there along with everything started to expand out, key starting to form the universe was us. If we don't wait at that point, we get caught up in all that. To unravel the mystery, so wait. What O found, for example, when Osensei told him to wait, it was an incredible journey. He said after a while, he came to the realization that waiting was the most vital and active thing he did. He got really good at it, obviously. Okay? And so, to unravel the mystery, that all started with the Big Bang. We were in the movement of creation. The movement of creation is key, going from a very fine state to a very dense state and then coming back. And there we are as consciousness. And Osensei was talking about a floating bridge where we, in the midst of all this, as dense as we are, as fine as we are, wait. We're part of that original consciousness. Therefore, the universe is part of a mystery. Osensei did a lot of stuff. You say, well, that was key. Yeah, but it's still a mystery. We're trying to unravel the mystery, which is probably infinite, but it helps us to know, wait, we're part of that mystery. And yeah, infinitely dense point, hot, dense, starts to expand. That's true. Universe and creation, but we're right there. And so, since I said, how did I learn this stuff, which is very similar to physics, is that he said, I just did misogi. I kept getting clearer and clearer with who I am. Therefore, yeah, it was very apparent that the beginning was that way. Okay. I don't know that he studied physics per se, he just studied the movement of ki. And we exist as a part of that in terms of he had a consciousness. So, for example, here, he says, He's solid. He says, wait. Boom, boom. See, it goes in and out, starting to go in and out in spiral. Now it can reverse spiral. Boom, boom. It can go back in and boom, spiral out even bigger. That's all key. Key becomes your textbook. Key becomes your coach. I'm not to, I give you pointers, but every pointer I give you is to learn how to wait. All this, technique. I'm going to get on the train. Very good. Wait. Less is more. But how do we learn how to move? Yeah, there are forms. So we're going to do the 30 movements. Now, what are the 30 movements? They're science, math, and history. They're not just better tools. Okay? So we're going to go into the 30 movements. It's amazing how that's a pop culture song, and it goes into the whole creation. I mean, you don't have to chant classical Japanese. I always thought, I mean, they're nice. I mean, why is that stupid song going through my head? I can't shut it off. I just watched the show and I can't shut this stupid song off. I started to go, okay, what's going on here? Infinitely dense point. It's hot, it's dense, it's all that thing. Creation is in that one little point. It's hot, it's dense. And 14 a long time ago, expansion started. We can get caught up in how dense it is and how then it starts to cool and all this stuff. But it's genius to say, wait, why? Because we were there right at the beginning. Too hot, too dense for us to have bodies, but it's consciousness. Is that element of key is conscious. Good. Then, of course, the earth began to cool. Microorganisms started, or autotrophs began to drool. It produced nutrients. All right? Neanderthals, we came out of that. Whether you believe in evolution or not. I'm not a strict Bible person, there's a lot in the Bible, but I'm more along science. Okay. We develop tools, we build things. Wow. But we can just keep building better tools and stay Neanderthals. And a lot of people, that run CEOs that run corporations and make mega billions, and everybody else is in poverty. They're Neanderthals with better tools. Science, math, history. The 30 movements are science, math, and history. And they exist to help us solve the mystery, which makes us, we're misogi. We're trying to do what Osensei did. We get back to the very beginning, and who are we there? We're pure consciousness. And then as that went out, we fragmented. So each of us is an element of that original key, soul, whatever it is. But you have Penny, you have Sheldon, you have all those characters. It's a great show. If you haven't watched it, it actually, I'm saying, pretty fun. Okay, but the song itself is really cool. So let's line up. We'll go through science, math, and history. That's what those big three. But it's to unravel the. And what's the key element in that? All this stuff is starting to move away. We existed before any of that. Is to get us somewhat back to that originally. And then we went our different ways. We kind of fragmented, Movement number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is both up and down. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Whoops. That's okay. We needed a little distraction right there. All right. Yeah, so I'm like Steve Kerr saying, Ellen Wiggins, you missed your last 8 corner threes. Let's crack up and tell a joke in the huddle. Okay, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, bang, great. Okay, go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have Steve and David come out. You two sync up and lead everybody through the science, math, and history lesson. Okay? Okay. Good. Let's 22. 23 is the most complex move. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Right? The 4 count there's a lot of moves. Somebody's coming to grab your shoulder. Right? Where if you're already over here, you're too quick. So now goes here. If it goes all the way over here, it becomes EQ. But it goes here. Right? So here and then here. Right? EQ is complex because if you put too much pressure down, the person gets very, very dense. So part of the up down, you stay in your center. Now here, for example, don't hit yourself in the ribs. So there's a lot of different moves in there. Okay. For example, if he's coming in this direction, boom. Now, that's hard to do here, but see, that's Kotegaishi, isn't it? Huh? Iriminage. There's a lot in that 1, 2, 3, 4 if you kind of look at the changes. Okay. So one of the things you can research, okay, is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the fire water changes. We got here. Right here. You do it on the other side. Boom, boom, boom. First time you try that stuff, you mess up. Okay? So take it slow. All right? Now, instead of, for example, somebody comes out, I'm out here grabbing the wrist, let the wrist go by, take it. Kotegaishi, boom, boom. Your staff becomes your uke. And so, you know, we're working out various changes, like over here, boom, boom. That's a variation of it. Now, off of that, we can get it on the other side. Can reverse the movement. Give yourself permission to dribble the ball off your knees and ankles. That's how Stephanie. Okay, so move around a little bit. Science, math, and history can't teach you to think. If you don't think, you'll be a Neanderthal with better tools. That's why the word wait is there. Expansion started. Wait. We get caught up in the earth cooling and the microorganisms and developing tools, and there's too many gaps there. It goes way too fast. So expansion started, wait. Oh, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Slow it down. Boom, boom. So that movement, 23, there's a lot there. Somebody's coming in behind you. The spirit point finds it. Now you can expand out the circle of attackers. That's a sharp spear point. So that's the beginnings of the Kakemusu. Remember, science, math, and history. You could be a Neanderthal with better tools. We're not supposed to stop there. We're supposed to wait. And I mean, you know, whether we're ever going to do Aikido at Osensei's level or not, I think we want to just go in that direction as human beings. Right? Keep going. Yeah, Steve, you feel the difference from the beginning of class? The whole feeling of weight in your staff is different, isn't it? Yeah, that's important. Yeah. So if you start to get the up down, you know, the actual sense, the movement of T is your coach. And what you'll find is if I'm too heavy, I'm just going to make the up down stronger. And I'm going to put more my own personal T into it.
Yeah.
But if for, you know, Sensei was his ally was Ki.
Yeah.
He was in a great relationship with it. In fact, probably to make it more funny, gave it names of Kami. Ikizuchi Sensei one time, he sat me down and said, Jack, when I'm talking about the Kami, they're not people. It's about Ki. It's just a way of phrasing it. Kami. Movements and little sub-movements. Everything you want to give them names, give them vibrations, give them colors. That's your, some people like that stuff. I do too, somewhat. But yeah, but you feel the difference.
At the beginning of the class, it was just a stick.
Yeah.
At the end of the class, it's part of me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's you know, and therefore the movement of the creation, Ki moving out there, is also a part of you.
Yeah.
If you find this, it starts to talk, that starts to talk back, you start to unify to some degree with those. And that's what I think you make by misogi. That's kind of why, in a lot of ways, if you learn to chant classical Chinese and Japanese, you put it in a perspective that, you know, well, you know, I don't feel like it. But then again, you know, if you listen to a pop culture song about a ridiculous situation comedy, you say, you know, that's all going on there. You go, wow, the universe is trying to talk through that stupid show. In fact, it's not a stupid show. It's actually a very entertaining show, you know? So yeah, your body feel is different. Therefore, your psychological state is different. You see things when you're in that finer state that you don't when you're too dense. And the problem with training is that people want to get denser. And so, you know, the other thing is, okay, I just want to make this thing into an idea trip. No, it's not about that either. Because when you're trying to, the energies are your coach. Okay? Anyway, let's check in just for a second. All right? And one of the things I kind of said, you are the center that contains this original part of the universe and its consciousness. Maybe at the beginning there was no key, it was just whatever it was to this way. So it had to kind of go, create that point. which also created a great space, a calm. And it got so dense and so dense, it had to go sue, it had to go, but expansion started. Wait, why wait? It's going to happen because at some point, you know, autotrophs began to drool. Neanderthals created tools. We built a wall. We built pretty good. But we start, you know, we don't want to be Neanderthals with better tools. And so we had science, math, and history to unravel the mystery. All of that stuff comes out of an original mystery. Why were we there? We're consciousness. We're part of everything. The whole universe is part of that consciousness. When it started to move, he started to get very dense. If you go back, it starts to get finer. That's why we're working with, you know, if I'm too dense. But then again, if I'm too mental, oh, boom, boom. And so some of these changes, you know, what they give you is a chance, you know, yeah, you're going to have to figure them out. But for whatever reason, there's an updraft which starts to kind of turn and spiral. And then it goes out and then it comes back. I just don't want to be in the path of the spirit where it is. So it's almost like instead of creating these movements, he is starting to be my coach. In fact, I don't want, you know, we made a form of it. Yeah, because, you know, in some sense, we learn something, we forget it. Science, math, and history have a purpose, right? Other than that, we're just Neanderthals with better tools. And maybe we build more pyramids and maybe we build more walls, but, you know, but high tech is tools. That's why the whole thing, expansion started. Wait, we can go from microorganisms to Neanderthals and build tools and walls and pyramids. But there's science, math, and history to unravel the mystery that all started with the Big Bang. Boom, we all came out of that. But it wasn't just when that started to move, he started to move. You know, it started to move from this dense place. Went out, but we have a tendency to kind of densify out there. There's also movement back, see, to go out. And we get caught up in that. It gets heavy out there. So right in the beginning, it was really dense. Expansion started. Wait. The earth began to cool. Life form, evolution. We started to build tools. But science, math, and history to unravel the mystery. Well, either that or science, math, and history, you get better tools, become better Neanderthals. The mystery that started with the Big Bang. So, you know, this is more, let's go through the 30 again and we'll kind of, right? So this is, and then what it is, what you're supposed to do, this is the mystery. This is the mystery. He moves, boom, 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 boom. See, you can spiral out and come back without being too heavy or being too drifty. Boom, 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 boom. And then it can sort of loop out and then come back to itself. But you slow it down. The science, math, and history are to help you unravel the mystery of who you are in the universe and what the universe really is. Okay, so let's go get more science, math, and history. Okay, I'm going to present a couple of sort of like, they're not finished products, but I put out some certificates to be David and also Steve. Okay, so but before we do that, to be certified, what you do is anybody can do it after a while as part of a group. Anybody feel like taking a certification? No big deal, but you have to be able to lead the group as opposed to follow a group. So if nobody wants to do it, then we'll just go to the certificate. I got a couple more. Cliff's not here and Harry's not here. So, all right. You, okay. Okay, good. Okay, got to write up another certificate. Okay, good. Now, let's see, I've got this one here. These are not finished products. Um, so I'm going to present them with prototypes, okay? So I'll get better versions of them out, okay? But I don't have yours, obviously, because, all right. So, oh, no Cliff today. Okay, anyway, I did bring your own folder, so, as I said, it's a prototype. So, David, I think, was the first one that got certified. Okay. So the other thing I got to do is assign it and stamp it. But I just want to present this. And also, Elle doesn't like the color. But we're at a very limited basis of what that is. So we're going to try to get better stationery for it. Okay. So there are a couple things. I want to present it. Okay. So for level 1 of the 30 movement misogi Gyo for Aikido student staff has been awarded to David Eves. And this was done the 16th day of January. Okay, so it's a while back, so my apologies for being kind of so disorganized. Okay, I get so caught up in waiting, sometimes things get delayed. But congratulations, okay? And yes, here's something so you can put it in, so yeah. Thank you. Okay, all right, let me see. Yeah, okay. And so it basically says the same thing. And it's a level 1 certification. It just means that you can lead the group through the 30 movements. You can sort of do it when everybody else is doing it, but you can actually lead, okay? So this is a little later, but the 20th day of February, 2021, we commend his dedication and leadership, both of you, okay? All right. Now, you don't have to be a black belt to be certified. That's the other thing. Cliff took it and he passed. All right. Deal. But, science, math, and history can't teach you everything. But without them, we'd be screwed. So, the some people call it a kata. I call it more a misogi gyo. It's science, math, and history. And without them, I mean, you can use the science, math, and history to be a better Neanderthal, creating better tools. After all, we built the wall, we built the pyramids. That's why that song is actually pretty cool. You don't have to learn the classical Japanese of a Norito. If you listen to it, you go, huh, that's a pop culture song. But it's almost like the truth of things, bubbles up can express itself in terms that, are seem to be to some people rather irreverent. Okay, so I'm going to present this to Steve. There will be a final version of this, and you have a folder, so there may be a collector's item someday, which I doubt. Okay. Anyway, and Cliff and Harry weren't here today, so I'll just make sure. Maybe I can get their original, their finished copies.
I'm here virtually today.
Okay,
So
so let's all line up. We will bow out. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So,
Second. Oh.
where do we go? Okay, so we go this way.